Jimmy Butler and Kevin Love, two former Minnesota Timberwolves, sitting it out on the second night of a back-to-back as the Miami Heat head to Minnesota for the Timberwolves' first home game of the season. I'm just going to say Miami could have used Butler and Love in this one. Tyler Hero did his part. He had 22, but it wasn't good enough. You see Karl Anthony Towns with the grown man jam puts Minnesota up by 5. And then Naz Reid, I'm so happy he's back from injury. He looks great. If I'm Minnesota, I'm thinking, man, I might could trade Cat. Naz gives me about 85% of what Cat does. Naz had 25 in this one. You see the steal leads to a Mike Conley 3. Mike still hanging on in there, ain't he? And then AE 3 of his 19 points. No Butler. Big problems for Miami. They lose to Minnesota by 16. Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets yet to lose thus far on the season. They're 2-0. They're in Oklahoma City taking on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder. First quarter, I like the fact that Chet wasn't afraid of a matchup with the best player in the world. Holmgren going right at Jokic and nailing the deuce. Now, you know the Joker's going to respond. I know it's Halloween, but this is the real deal. This ain't no costume. Jokic is really this good. He goes right back at Holmgren. Little boy day tomorrow. But here comes Holmgren, the floater. Get it how you live, young fella. Jokic had some advice for Holmgren after the game. He said, where he's at an advantage at, he's also at a disadvantage. Jokic's advice to Holmgren was he needs to, quote, get a little fatter. Jokic got some weight on him, and you're not going to stop him as he nails the deuce to close out the first half. It's an 18-point game. Jokic, by the way, led everybody in scoring with 28. Third quarter, SGA had a rough one. Started out the game 0 for 10. Hits the deuce there. Did have 2 field goals, but only 7 points for SGA. Michael Porter Jr. is going to nail a 3, and at this point, this is already over as Jamal Murray is going to close this highlight out. Let me know your thoughts on that comment that Jokic made for Holmgren. So he needs to get a little fatter. Murray, right where he wants to be at, on top of the basketball world, NBA champion, second best player on his championship team. Clearly, Nuggets are going to win this one going away. They're 3-0. 128-95 is your final from Oklahoma City. For the first time in his 19 seasons as a professional athlete, Chris Paul's coming off the bench. The Warriors welcome back Draymond Green as they take their talents to Houston to get it on with the Rockets, who are still searching for their first win of the season. I'm not going to even spoil it. They didn't get it in this one, but this highlight is still worth your time as you saw Wardell nail the 3. More on Steph at the end of the highlight. Other end, the 4th pick in last year's draft, Amin Thompson, getting to it. Nice little spurt there. He had 9 points in the game. CP3, he's going to find himself a roll off that bench, man. He had 8 points and 7 dimes. You've seen a couple of his points and then a couple of his dimes as he finds Gary Payton II and Klay Thompson, both for 3s. Right before the half, Thompson finding the range. That's a good sign if you're a Warriors fan. He's been struggling. He was 5 of 10 from 3 in this one, though. Second half, Steph. This is ridiculous. It's looking better as he gets older. The shot, it's ridiculous, y'all. Rockets gonna make a run of it. How about Şengün? He's a really good player. He gets the deuce to go. And then some defense leading the offense. Old Uncle Jeff Green, ball spotted all. Uncle Jeff Green to Jalen Green, who puts it in. We didn't have to show the ball spot, by the way. That's unnecessary from your boy Ferrell. That's unnecessary. I'll call that myself. That's unnecessary. Jalen Green had 21 points, 9 boards. The Rockets are down just a point in the 4th. Then Curry decides to make it personal with Dylan Brooks. He's standing on business. Curry getting hot in Houston again. He has had some ridiculous games against the Rockets in his career. Now everybody's getting it from Steph. Rockets well on their way to a defeat, and then it just gets ugly. Curry disrespecting Dylan Brooks. Oops. Now you see me? And then now you don't. You see me again, and now you don't again. It's Steph Curry. He's so great, he shocked himself. Brooks' shoes almost fell off. 24 points for Steph. Warriors take over in the fourth. They win by 11. 20 years ago to the date, LeBron James played his first professional basketball game, ironically in Sacramento against the Kings, October 29th, 2003. Well, 20 years later, he's still good against the Kings. More on him in a second, but first thing first, we got to pay respect. The beam getting lit is Fox, Harrison Barnes, and Malik Monk all contributed. Sacramento takes the 9-point lead. They're looking to rebound after that loss against the Warriors. It's JaVale McGee in my Shaquille O'Neal voice. Second quarter, grown man juice from Fox. That's Kentucky on Kentucky crime. It's Fox now going at undrafted guys. Austin Reeves gets the smoke. And then Fox saves a little for Taurean Prince. Sacramento up by double digits as we take a break. Third quarter, here comes the king against the Kings. It's LeBron. Chest to chest, man to man is what you put in the gym versus what he did. I've always kind of liked his chances better than yours. Anthony Davis nails the three. He had 30 and 16. Here's Rui Hachimura giving the Lakers their first lead of the game at 91-90. Fox is going to miss. Keegan Murray's going to put it in, but it's about Fox here because he sprains his ankle, having a phenomenal game. Already off to a great start this season, by the way. Sprain of the ankle from Fox. Led everybody in scoring with 37. He's a tough dude. He's playing a high-profile game against the Lakers, against LeBron. So he got back out there. And Fox did miss a beat. De'Aaron lighting up L.A. At that point, the Lakers were down 6. They once again cut the deficit to 2. 13 seconds to go. Who you gonna call on? It's King James. LeBron tying this one up at 115. Keegan Murray gets a chance at the biggest shot of his career thus far. It's no good. And how fitting. Kings-Lakers goes to overtime in Sacramento. They play some great games in Sacramento, by the way, just historically. In the extra period, it's Monk, the former Laker, and one season. More Kentucky on Kentucky crime. What's up with that? Where's the love for the blue? LeBron nailing the step back three to cut the Lakers deficit down to 1. He had 27, 15 boards, 8 assists, but it's going to end up being an L in the loss column for LeBron, AD, and the Lakers as Kevin Huerter nails the three, stepping to his left. Sacramento wins a tight one in OT by 5. Welcome to the latest episode of the Who's Pharaoh podcast. I am yours truly, the one and only. I am Pharaoh. If you have not done so, please make sure you are subscribed to this channel. It is the best way that I grow. It's free 99 to show me that you support the grind, ladies and gentlemen. I need you. I need your support. It's truly the best way we show people that we are growing. Now, I want to focus this video on none other than the king, the kid from Akron. His name is LeBron James. 20 years ago to the date, LeBron James kicked off his illustrious career as a Cleveland Cavalier in Sacramento against the Kings. Now, 20 years later, October 29th of 2023, LeBron doesn't jump as high as he did back then. Couple hairs on the face, couple less hairs on the head, couple more hairs on the chest. Beautiful 3 kids, beautiful wifey. Later, LeBron James is still playing at a great level. He's still at a great, crazy level to be this close to the age of 40. 21 seasons in, LeBron James is still going at an incredible clip. I want to say this, though, and I'm not knocking LeBron James, but I do have a question for you guys. So for those who don't know this about your boy Pharaoh, I am really good at multiplication. I could say math, but I would be lying to you guys. All right, I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I got to college, I was always majoring in sports journalism at the University of Tennessee. But I did get arrogant because, for those who don't know, journalism is a very easy major. When you're a journalist, most of the real work comes in what you're doing in your free time. Compared to my friends' majors, my then girlfriend, now wife's major, you know, we dated some in college. I was able to see some of her work and all that great stuff. They had it rough. My friends majored in kinesiology. They had it rough, right? Towards the end, they had some very difficult classes. I'd have friends that are nursing, that were nursing majors, all type of friends that are doctors now. They had it rough. Me, journalism major, again, it's still a top tier school in Tennessee, but all things considered, your boy had it easy. The journalism major, you just got to grind. You got to go take as many internships as you can get. Hence, that's how I ended up at ESPN, all that great stuff, right? Journalism is about the grind and the extracurricular work that you do to show that you're passionate about this trade, right? It's not really about the classwork. So I got arrogant. I think around my second year of college, my sophomore campaign, I went and picked up a minor in business. I'm like, all right, your boy Pharaoh's going to somehow connect business and journalism like I'm doing right now. Let me go get a business minor. I'm killing it anyway. I feel good about myself. I'm going to every party that I can think of. I feel good about myself. I go take Econ 101 with a gentleman by the name of Ken Baker. Ken Baker at the University of Tennessee. Shout out to you, Ken. I loved your class. Ken Baker was known as, I'm not going to use the term an easy professor, but pretty much for anybody out there that uses rate my professor, Ken Baker was known as a professor. If you couldn't get past his econ class, I believe that was econ, you probably are not ready to get a business minor. If you couldn't get past his basic econ course, the entry level, you probably were not good enough to succeed and get a business minor. I barely passed Ken Baker's class. And I say all that to say, that's why I don't say I'm good at math, because I was very bad at collegiate math. I am a beast at multiplication. You name it, 3 times 5, all that great stuff. I got it off the top of my head. 457 times 122. I actually don't know that one off the top of my head because I'm shooting on camera right now. If you gave me 12 seconds, I could figure it out, though. I'm really good at math. And I bring all that up to say I'm trying to put together an equation here about LeBron James because I'm having a difficult time figuring this one out. The story of LeBron James's career has been when he plays with guys, instead of bringing out the best in them, generally speaking, he has brought out the worst in them. And I don't understand it. You would think playing with a guy like LeBron would take your game to the next level. I can name on my hand the guys that I believe games were at the best when they played with LeBron. Kyrie, definitely. J.R. Smith, yes. But after that, the list gets slim. The irony in LeBron James's legacy, and I don't know if this speaks to him as a leader or not, when LeBron plays with you, guys from all-star level, Hall of Fame level on down played their absolute worst. They start missing shots. It appears as though they don't take the game as serious as he does. As an already established all-time great, it makes no sense to me. I've tried putting this equation together, but I've struggled with it. I don't understand how come LeBron doesn't bring out the best. And guys, do guys just feel so intimidated by his legacy, his greatness, his presence, that they don't even try to be that? Is LeBron doing something wrong as a leader? Is it because he's on the ball so much? Is it because all the games are televised more times than not? Because LeBron's going to sell out every arena? I don't know what it is about playing with LeBron, but generally speaking, if you look at like 95% of the guys that he's played with in his career, after that first stint in Cleveland, LeBron has brought out the worst in guys versus the best, and it makes absolutely no sense to me. So when I'm looking at this Lakers squad, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know or not, Austin Reeves is struggling. We're 3 games in. The season is still young. Gabe Vincent is struggling. D'Angelo Russell, he started struggling in last year's postseason. He's still struggling. Anthony Davis struggles in big games. He's actually really good against anybody not named the Jokic's of the world. Anthony Davis is actually pretty good against Embiid. He doesn't want any smoke with guys like Jokic, though. Let me say guys like Jokic. He doesn't want any smoke with Jokic. He doesn't play well against Jokic. But more times than not, AD is him. AD is him. But I'm noticing this trend here, even with the Lakers, even at this point in his career, LeBron tries to give the mantle to AD, say this, that he's not the face of the Lakers. But I watch these games, and no matter how much LeBron tries to hand over the mantle to Anthony Davis, it's all still about him. I'm watching this Lakers-Kings game, and I'm thinking to myself, if the Lakers are going to win this game, it's not going to be because of Anthony Davis. It's going to be on the shoulders of this dude who ironically walked into the league 20 years ago in that building against that team, and it was all about him for the Cavs. 20 years later, it's still all about him. Now he ironically is on the biggest brand in the NBA. When he got into the league, he was ironically on the worst brand in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers that had won 9 games the season before he got there, right? He gets to the biggest brand in the NBA. It's still all about him, despite Rob Pelinka's great efforts over the last 8 months to go get LeBron as much help as he could possibly get. The Lakers have spent every dime of the money that they had to get LeBron help. And even then, in the biggest of moments, and even in the smallest of moments, it's game 3 of the season, LeBron can't get no help. So what am I saying, ladies and gentlemen? I'm opening this conversation up to the comment section. What are we really saying about LeBron? What are we really saying about playing with LeBron? Because what I'm bringing up is a real part of his legacy. You can name on your hand how many guys have taken their game to the next level when they play with LeBron. How many guys' best basketball was with LeBron? It's weird to me. Dwayne Wade's best games was not with LeBron. It was before LeBron got there. Chris Bosh's best games were not with LeBron. It was when he was in Toronto. Kevin Love's best basketball that he played was in Minnesota. He actually was injury prone, dealt with some other mental stuff before he played and after he played with LeBron, right? You talking about guys like Anthony Davis. I thought his best basketball was in New Orleans. I can argue role players like Kyle Korver. And now we're looking at guys like Gabe Vincent, who just shined for the Miami Heat. Now all of a sudden he can't buy a bucket anymore when he plays next to LeBron. What are we saying? What are we saying?
I want to salute you, homie, for building your own thing and doing your own thing.
Why build theirs when I believe I can build my own?
You've already done it, or I wouldn't be here.
I'm already the only elite sports and music journalist in the game today. My goal is simple, to be the best there's ever been. So, please don't go. Make sure you subscribe and follow the journey. It truly means everything to me. I tell stories, I talk music, I cover sports, I am culture, I am Pharaoh.